We'll go to the cornerback spot, which has been pretty much like any other position historically for this school since the early 80s, has produced legendary players, but maybe not up to standard recently.
Yeah, it's been a nice drop off. I would say corner and defensive end are like historically our two positions that are kind of, we've had some guys, but we've had transcendentally great safeties and linebackers and defensive tackles. And I guess you could add Brian McKinney for offensive line. So you got transcendentally great offensive linemen, historic and Hall of Fame wide receivers, probably one of the greatest tight end factories. Used to be known as QBU and running back U, but got to pump the brakes when it comes to defensive end and cornerback. Those two positions have been a little bit iffy, more of like program guys at those positions. So we'll start off with Tyrique Stevenson, 6'1", 214 pounds. Yes, I said that right. 214 at corner. Junior, rocks number 2, transfer from UGA. I wonder how he felt. He transfers to go win a national championship. So, hey, he's back home. He's a Miami Hurricane, so it is what it is. The best corner we've had on our roster in years. Yes, he gave up a big bomb against Michigan State, but as far as everything he brings to the table, he doesn't have the crazy interception numbers, like people would say Artie Burns, because Artie Burns had 6 interceptions. Okay, that's true. I'm with you. I think he had a really nice season. But as far as leadership, as far as diverse, can play nickel, can play strong, can play field corner, can play boundary, play some safety for us. A very, very, very dynamic player in Tyrique Stevenson. Spent time at UGA, so his defensive mind when it comes to football is different. I remember one play in specific, he's at the boundary, which is the short side of the field. And we're playing Georgia Tech, and they did QB power to the boundary. But they pulled. So then all our defense was lined up to the string, and they pulled this way. And he read it and literally leaves his corner. They could have pulled it and threw it right to the receiver, and nobody would have been there. But his film prowess, he's able to, you see him looking in, and he's like, oh no, that's right. He starts sneaking in, and then he shoots in the backfield, and that's where you get one of your 2.5 TFLs, as he just goes back there and hits the UGA, and that was not the call. That was not the call by any means. But you could tell, based on his film, based on down and distance, based on what was presented to him, he went and made a decision. He goes back there. I think he's going to have a real nice one. Thing about cornerback is there comes a point where you kind of have a name for yourself, and people try to throw to the other side as opposed to you, because you made a name for yourself. So I think the person that people are going to try this year, and he might have a big-time breakout season at corner, is Al Blaze Jr., 6 foot, 190-pound, redshirt junior, wears number 7. I say that because people aren't going to throw to Tyrique Stevenson. He's made his name for himself in the ACC coach. Certain schools ain't going to care. They're going to try him either way. But the reason why Artie goes out there and has 6 interceptions 7 years ago is because of the fact that Corn Elder was known as one of the better corners, and people wouldn't really try him, so they just would lob balls up against Artie, and Artie would locate, and catch that thing. 6 interceptions, 26th overall pick, Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Al Blaze Jr. could have something similar as far as just people trying him and him making them pay with catching interceptions. Okay, move on to our nickels. To Corey Couch, 5'9", 170-pound junior. Corey Couch had a better season in 2020 than he did in 2021. Lost his job a couple times and was kind of in and out. So I'm hoping that was just a sophomore slump and that his confidence can come back. The other nickel, Marcus Clarke, 5'9", 190-pound, true sophomore, number 28. He too had some issues last season as far as he was up on Oh, my bad, Mark. I'm going too fast for you, huh?
Oh, that's okay. I'm keeping up with you. We're trying.
Okay,
You do your thing.
got you. Marcus Clarke had some trial and error playing outside because he didn't really get a chance to play on the inside because we had injuries out there. Not really an outside corner. Those two guys, probably nickels, not just because they're 5'9" and 5'10", but you need that length. You need that length to be on the outside, and these two guys really lack that. Really, really lack that. Now, someone who does have the length but has really, really bad speed. DJ Ivy, 6 foot, 200 pounds, super senior. Where's number 8? A player that has to improve. A player that has to gain his awareness up a bit, get his confidence up a bit. A player that I would want on our sideline, whether it's the field or the boundary, have him on the sideline so that the corner, what I mean by have him on the sideline, have him on the corner spot that's nearest to the sideline when he's out there, because I would want the cornerbacks coach, DVD or a die coach or die, to be feeding him positive energy the whole time. I mean, tell hey, they're about to do this, they're about to do that. That because he is one of those players that when he's down, you can tell, and I think his play is impacted by that. But when he's up and he's fired up and he's jumping up and down, he can make some plays. All right. Isaiah Dunson, 6'2", 190-pound, redshirt sophomore, number 29. Isaiah Dunson, again, was one of those young men that was rotational and is really learning the craft, played some safety. Now he's playing some corner also. We lose a lot after this year. So I don't necessarily know if this is the year for Isaiah Dunson just yet. It could be 2023, but he will still be in the cooker because we're going to lose Tyrique Stevenson and Al Blaze Jr. and DJ Ivy and Daryl Porter, who's coming up after this year. They're all senior level guys who will probably move on, okay? So look for Miami to take a lot of corners this cycle. Then the last player, Daryl Porter Jr., 5'10", 180-pound sophomore transfer from West Virginia. Okay, so these it's a position where got a lot of guys trying, a lot of guys to throw out there, some boundaries, some field, some nickel. A lot of it we won't have answers until helmets are rolling, bullets are flying, and we're playing Bethune-Cookman.